What's up? What's up? Back to another Wednesday training, and I am pretty excited to talk about this today about your email lists, how we're collecting them, why are we collecting them, what do you do with them? Because I think there's a lot of confusion here, right? I see a lot of people spending a lot of money in this like aspect, if you will, or in this avenue to collect the emails, but nobody's doing anything with them, which is beyond me why we even collect them in the first place if we're not doing anything with them. So let's get started here. I think we got about 30. I think we booked this one for about 30 minutes because it's not an hour long type of discussion. But before we get started, I would love to know, out of everybody here watching, and when you come in and you join us, if you're not joining us live, if you're joining us after, I want to know, are we collecting emails, period? Because that's step one, right? We got to be collecting emails. Now, if you're curious on how to collect them or why you would collect them and all that kind of stuff, that tells me, well, you're not collecting emails, which is totally okay. The question really is like, what do we collect them for, and what do we do with them after that? Like, where do we hold them? What do we do with them? Are we monetizing it? Because collecting emails, having an email list, having that entire depth of marketing access, if you will, can make you a ton of money. It doesn't matter what you're offering. Having an email list is very, very, very important. Okay. So like, people are opting into things. They want to know more information. They literally gave you an email. Like, it's so yes. So let's dive in. So are you collecting emails? Yes or no? That's the first thing. When we started collecting emails, we just collected them, and we were paying a service to collect them through Wi-Fi and all this stuff. And then we kind of had some self-awareness that we weren't doing anything with them. Like, they just sat there. So we're collecting all these emails, not monetizing them, not sending out emails, not sending out promotions, not doing anything except just collecting them. And at one point, I think we had 2,000 or 3,000 emails, and it was like, okay, that's cool. How much money have we spent to collect these things? We even paid for a CRM to send emails out, and we didn't do it. So now, like, I'll get on calls with people, and they'll be like, hey, like, I need to know how to send emails and do this. And hey, I looked at this thing like StayFi, and it's kind of expensive, but I've been paying for it for a year. And I'm like, cool. Like, how many emails do you have? And you're like, I don't know. Like, okay, well, what are you doing with them? And they're like, nothing. I'm like, okay, back up. You got 10 properties. You're paying $15 a month of property. So you're paying $150 a month times 12. So we're spending like $1,700 a year to collect emails. Then you're paying for the CRM, which is $30 a month or whatever. So we got $2,000 wrapped up a year in just collecting emails and storing them, but we're not doing anything with them. What are we doing? So you got two options: figure out how to monetize them, or stop collecting emails. Like, at the end of the day, right? So let's talk about a couple of things. So we're going to talk about how to collect them, multiple different ways of collecting emails, why you would collect them, where to store them, and what to do with them. Okay? Now, if you guys have questions, you're just joining. Like I said, I want to know, are we collecting emails or not? So the majority of people, I know who I'm talking to. Okay? So if this is a newer thing, we're going to hit those in this pillar one, if you will. And if we are collecting them and they're just sitting there, or maybe you're trying to monetize them, you just don't know what you're doing, we're going to talk about that too. Okay? So for the next 20-something minutes, stay tuned, buckle up, and let's have some fun. I want to show you how to make money through emails. All right? So why do we collect emails? Well, there's a lot of reasons. We can send out stuff for, weekends that have last-minute cancellations. We can send emails about promos that we're doing because it's slow season. Maybe you're doing free tubing tickets, or you're doing, we just got off a call about, I can't remember what it's called, something park, Sky Park in Colorado. Maybe you work out a deal with them, and you're like, hey, if you book here, because here's added value, you book here, I'm going to give you 2 free tickets to Sky Park. Cool, right? We just need to be able to promote that. and maybe a little bit farther than just Airbnb. So we can have those. We can have, hey, things are in the area. We want to educate guests. We want to drive interest to the guests for them to book with us. All these things, right? This is why you would collect emails. It's just to continually promote your brand and promote your property. That's it. That's why. To make more money long term. Okay. Now, collecting emails, like understand, collecting emails, sending emails, all that is not a short game. That's a long game. So if you think you're going to make like $5,000 a month extra this month by sending a couple emails, probably not, especially if it's the first time you ever send an email. Okay. So like, just be aware that this is a brand building exercise. Doesn't matter if it's one property or 100 properties. It's a brand building exercise. Okay. Now, let's talk about how to collect them. So there's multiple ways to collect emails. Internet is the biggest one, right? Like somebody hooks up to the Wi-Fi, it's a guest that stayed. There's a ton of opportunity here. So you can collect it through services called like StayFi. If you don't know what StayFi is, it's where you hook the StayFi unit. It's a Ubiquiti unit. StayFi is like a service, like a splash page. You can send emails through that. But it like connects to the router. It's like at a hotel. You go and you like try to get on the Wi-Fi and like put your name, your email, and your room number in. Then you have instant access to the Wi-Fi. StayFi is that for short-term rentals. So people connect to the Wi-Fi. They technically go through the Ubiquiti unit. You collect your information, and then once they say okay, you now have their email goes into the CRM, and they can have access to the internet. So that's what StayFi does. You can also use QR codes. So you can do a QR code printed at the property. Like if you don't want to pay for the StayFi, if a QR code printed at the property, they scan the QR code. They go to a form, like a Google form, which is free. They put in their name and their email, and they consent to the fact that they're 16 and older or 18 and older, so you can send promotional stuff. From there, they click submit, and it redirects them to another QR code, which would be the Wi-Fi QR code. And they can click on that and then click join. Or they can scan it and then click join, and they're in. And that's it. Right? That's how you save money at scale. At one property, it doesn't make sense to do this. At 10, 15, 20, 100 doors, it does, because that's a lot of money to be paying StayFi. Okay? So that's how we collect emails on the Wi-Fi side. You also have things like splash page. So like somebody comes to your website. So it's a light box is what it's called. As soon as you go to the website, this box comes up and it says, opt in here, collect your email for events and things and discounts, blah, blah, blah. And they say yes. They put in their email and you immediately have it, right? Those are people who haven't even stayed with you. They're just looking. So you collect emails that way. You can do contests like, hey, we're going to run this promotion. We want to grow the brand. We want to grow the Instagram page, the Facebook group, or the Facebook page. We want to grow awareness to the brand. So we're going to do like a free contest. You can stay in any, you have a 2-night stay in any place, in any cabin that we have. We're going to do a raffle in 30 days. And you're just collecting emails. You can run an ad behind this, whatever. You're just collecting emails and collecting emails and collecting emails. And so by the end of that, your following on your Instagram page should be raised a couple hundred people, along with your email list just went through the roof. Okay. So you could do contests, and you just need to make sure that we're capturing that. You're capturing emails from some realtors saying, hey, like anybody that wants to learn about short-term rentals in the area or want to be up to news, do you have an email list that we can push to? You can also utilize that. So like we can do some affiliates here to grow that email list if that's what we want to do. I don't recommend like buying email lists or anything like that. Like don't do anything sketchy to try to like grow your awareness. I wouldn't do that. Okay. So, but there's multiple ways that we can collect emails. If there's a barbecue festival or something in the area and you can hook up with them to do some promotional stuff and you can share email lists with them, do it 100%. Anytime somebody comes to your website, collect their email, period, in a story. Okay. Now, where do you store the emails? Right. We're going to hit this. We got 30 minutes here or 15 more minutes. Where do you store the emails? So these are CRMs. So you could do anything from like StayFi. If you use StayFi has a CRM. All the emails come through it. Now, StayFi, you can create the emails, create the splash pages, the promotional stuff. You could do that. That's a good CRM to use because that's exactly what you're doing. And you would take all your emails from like Airbnb or Booking.com or whatever, and you would import them in there. Any kind of channel that you're booking on, you want to take those emails, you would import them in there. You could use that. You can also use, if your website is through Wix, we use Wix. You can use Wix as a website, as the CRM for emails. We did that for a long time. You could use something like MailChimp or MailJet, Flow. I heard about another one the other day, DesignFlow, I think is what it's called. FlowWorks or something like that. If Bree is watching this, Bree, please tell me which one it is that you said to me the other day. You have, those are kind of like the DIY services, right? The MailChimp, the MailJet, those are Wix emails, like those are all DIY. Then you have like the DFY, the done for you, which would be like Go STR Marketing. That's actually who we use now. So Sam Estrada, small plug here for Sam Estrada. They send out all the emails. They send out the text messages. We get reviews that way. We get more bookings that way. We get a lot of awareness like that. We pay a few $100 a month, and he controls everything. He sends it to us. We approve it, and they push it out. So you could do a done for you service like that. It's an amazing service. No complaints whatsoever. Love the service. I don't get any kickback or anything like that by saying that. But if he says, hey, where did you come from? And you called Sam Estrada, you called Go STR Marketing, just tell him I sent you. So love you, Sam. Anyways, so on the CRM side, that's what, like, those are the options that you could do. DIY or DFY, done with you, or done, do it yourself or done for you. Those two services are amazing for collecting emails and sending out sending out email lists. Now, the bigger question that most people have is, what do you do with them? So you know how to collect them. You know where to store them. What do you do with them? Now, and I kind of touched on this earlier. What we do, I'll tell you what we do and tell you what you could do. And if you want to put a lot of energy into it, then do it. This is not an avenue that I would immediately start with. This is an avenue that I would add once you start building a team. If you have somebody that's running like social media for you, or they're doing copy for you or whatever, get them to draft the emails and send the emails. Get them to send it to you. You approve it. You move on. They send it out, right? That's part of the CEO mindset of, like, we delegate, we coach, we mentor, we deploy, we let them go, right? They're just coming back to us to approve things. So if we have, we'll write this down as we go so I don't forget. Last minute bookings, right? So let's talk about this for a second. If you're in slow season and you want to offer a crazy discount to book direct, right? You wouldn't do this through like book through Airbnb or whatever. It's slower. You don't have any bookings right now. So like, we were on a call just a few minutes ago. Got a property that they're kind of going, like, they don't have anything for September, but they have a lot of stuff like starting to book for October, November, December. So in September, there's no bookings. So we're like running through some stuff. This would be a good time to say, hey, if I had 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 emails, we could just draft up a really quick email and send it out. Hey, 15% off if you book direct with 2 Sky Park tickets, whatever. So bonus if your check-in is inside September. Outside September, it's not available. This will not last forever, whatever. So you could send out an email like that to try to just kind of bunch up a little bit of email of bookings there for like the last minute seasonality. You can also use that same method to book super far out in the future. Hey, go ahead and book out in, Christmas or January, February, whatever. Trying to fill a calendar before now, and you want to run a January promotion, like, because January is slow season for a lot of people down here, like say down here in the South. I think February is pretty hot up north. Anyways, don't want to digress there. But if we want to try to get January filled up, because January is a slow month, I would start sending emails now. Hey, we're going to be running a January promotion. Are you looking to travel in January? We're cutting rates 20%. We're also offering this 2 Sky Park ticket thing, whatever, if you book in January. And we're also, it's not a 3-day minimum, it's 2-night minimum with this code. So we want to fill up and forecast really, really well and fill up some of the months before we ever get there. So that's one. So last minute bookings, seasonality. Now your last minute bookings can also be combined with like last minute cancellations. So, hey, I had a $4,000 week booked. They just canceled. Granted, I'm still keeping half of it because of the cancellation policy, but we still need to book that. right? We still need to make the money. We were looking at $4,000, and now I'm going to collect $2,000 in an empty week because I'm not going to be able to rebook it. It's too late. Well, if we push something out saying, hey, the rate's 30% off, book now or forever hold your peace or whatever, that is an opportunity that we can use. All right, so those are immediate money-making activities to capture bookings. Now, on the flip side of that, the longer play is to educate the people that travel to the area. So if somebody is, and I'll tell you like subconsciously how this works. So let's say you have an email list of 1,000 people, okay? You have 1,000 emails, and you're coming into every month, you're like, hey, what's going on in the area? What are the events? So then you have like, let's just say it's fall. So you have like Oktoberfest, you have a barbecue cook-off. I don't know. The leaves are changing in a lot of places. So you have like, I don't know, let's just say fall festival. Well, people who travel 4 or 5 hours to your market may not be like up to date on that. And in the back of their head, they're like, hey, I would love to go somewhere. We just don't know where to go. Do you want to go somewhere new? You want to go somewhere old? Don't know. Well, you're sending emails to this 1,000 list, just giving information. You're just helping them make decisions. What it is you're subconsciously nurturing them to come to your market, right? And at the beginning, they're like, well, why would we tell them that if they're not going to book with us? Well, you're the one giving the information. You're the one giving the value. So when they see Allie or Kyle from Cherokee Rose Homes just send me an email, we automatically know now that it's education for Blue Ridge. It's education for the market. Cool. What's coming up? Oh, the barbecue cook-off's coming up. Oh, man, that's awesome. The Oktoberfest is something I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to be on Oktoberfest in Blue Ridge or whatever. Cool. You know what? I think we're going to try to make a point. That really was never on their mind until now. Now they're like, well, man, we got to book a cabin. Oh my God. Why would we, it's not in the budget right now. We haven't even thought about going on vacation. Well, Kyle just included a 20% off coupon if we booked to come to Oktoberfest. Okay. So what we're doing is we're laying out the plan all the way through. There's no search. There's no friction. We just answered every objection. What is there to do? I don't know. Well, yes, you do. There's Oktoberfest. But I don't have anywhere to stay. Yeah, you do. Here's a cabin. Okay, but it's too much money. Yeah, but I'm giving you a 20% discount. So you've just built that entire vacation for them for a weekend, and you're doing it in a weekend that you're not booked already for October. So you're filling the calendar. So that is a longer play, but you're just giving education. And what happens is you're also building the trust. So you might think like, well, what if they book somewhere else? Maybe they will. And that's okay. Maybe they want to stay at a hotel. They don't want to stay with you. They don't want to stay at a cabin this time. They stayed last time. They'd rather stay at a hotel because it's right in downtown. So be it. But when they come back to stay in a cabin, they will stay with you, right? You can't compete against the Hampton Inn that's in downtown if you don't have anything inside the city. Everything you've got is in the county. You can't compete there anyways. But there's no more effort from you to take one, to include 1,000 emails versus 999. So what we're doing is we're building trust. And in the same stroke of a key or whatever, they're also talking to people that they know that also want to come to the area, right? So what they're doing is they're referring you just off the trust based off an email. And it's all subconscious. It's all subconscious selling. You're saying, hey, come to this area. Hey, there's a barbecue cook-off for an Oktoberfest. We want to plant that seed in their mind with the trust and the things that are going on in the area and creating FOMO and all these things. And at the bottom of that email, you're like, hey, by the way, if you do want to come and you have to book a place, look here. And then boom, they go to your direct booking site. Now, if you don't have a direct booking site, okay. At this point, if you have 1,000 emails, you have a direct booking site. So I would tell you, number one, get a direct booking site. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just get something. Number two, if you don't have anything and you don't plan on doing anything, send them to Airbnb, right? Most people, trust Airbnb more than a brand new management company, whatever. Like that's just how some people are. So give them the option. But what we want to do is say, hey, we want to incentivize you to book direct. We're not giving you a coupon code to book through Airbnb. So in doing that, and as you go through those motions, even if you're only sending out like once a month, ideally you'd be sending out like once a week about just stuff in the area. We want to give, ask. So give stuff around the area, give advice, give market statistics, give this information, and then you ask them to come stay with it. 10% off, coupon code, or 20% off deal, or whatever the case is. There's a method to the madness whenever you just start doing this. Now, consistency is huge, right? You're not going to send off one email and expect $10,000 in bookings and then not do it for 6 months and then send one email and expect this huge result either. You have to continually build it. The best way to do that is to delegate it. There's no question. Because when it comes to you and growing a business and trying to manage your team and your operations and all these things, consistency is going to be massive. My team tells me all the time, because I'm not consistent with some things. They're like, you've got to be more consistent. I need this from me. How do we offload this off your plate to give it to somebody else? That's all they're focusing on. So I would tell you, give it to somebody to have it all they focus on. So if you need to hire a copywriter for a couple $100 a month, if you need to hire, add it to one of your VAs, use ChatGPT. Please, God, use ChatGPT for stuff going on in the area. That's what we do. Our team literally would just go into ChatGPT and say, what's going on in the next 6 months or whatever for the Blue Ridge area? And it will give out all of the festivals and all of the things, what's open, what's closed, what day they're opening, what day the festival is, all that stuff. Okay, so do not try to reinvent the wheel here. Use the resources around you. That's the best way I can explain that. ChatGPT is going to be your best friend. No question, period. Okay, make sense? Good. That's really, there's more. You could use when you get to a certain point and you have the email list and you have the reputation, and you have the properties, there is a point where you can actually convert some of these people to your management company. So they're following you with insights because they have a property in the area. They stayed with you 2 years ago, then they bought a property, they're self-managing, or maybe they have it with another management company, and they're just exploring to see what kind of information they can get from you. And the next thing you know, you say, hey, by the way, we're opening up 3 more spots to take on for management this month. If you're interested, please book a call here or send us an email back with your property address or whatever. We would just do a free analysis for you to see if it makes sense. So you can convert a lot of those people. So it's not just direct bookings, but you could convert a lot of those people over to management companies. Same thing if you have an HOA. If you're inside of an HOA and you have HOA emails, like if you're in a condo complex, say in Hilton Head or Panama City Beach or what have you, if you can get in with having the email list for the entire complex, you could email for management. You could send out one mass email and just say, hey, we're offering free property analysis for every condo in the complex. All you have to do is send back this and we'll give you a free analysis. Could you make more money? All of these things, right? So not only are we able to get more bookings, but we're also able to turn some of these people into clients. Now, you're not going to send an email to 1,000 people and have 400 people email back and say, hey, well, I have this property, whatever. It's not going to happen. The reality of that is almost 0%. The probability of that's pretty much 0. But what could happen is you get 2 or 3 people email you back and say, hey, I've actually had a property here this whole time. We actually booked with you because our property was already booked. So I let it make money and you were a little bit cheaper than what we booked or what we had booked. And we're actually curious about like not self-managing or leaving Vacasa or whatever and coming to you. So there's a lot of opportunity on the backside of an email list, right? It's a lot more than you probably think of. And also you could use it for referrals. You could use it for affiliates. Maybe you have something else that you want to offer outside of just booking cabins. You also have an email list in that area for that already. And when I say that, it could be food, like you want to offer a certain type of food or a certain type of drink or a trial for something, whatever. It's massive to be able to collect emails and store them and use them. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. That's 30 minutes. That was a lot of information, 30 minutes over email lists. Now, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and I will get to them, and I will answer them. If you are curious on the QR code side or anything like that, please shoot me a DM to get away from StayFi. If you are curious on what possible emails might look like, I can send you a link to show you some of our blogs and stuff that we actually take our blog and put it in an email format, send it out. We also drop it in the blog at the same time. So we have like double action there. So people can come to the website to learn from the blogs. They also get it on emails. If you have any question on what any of that might look like, or you want some examples, shoot me a DM and I will screenshot some stuff. I'll send it to you. I'll send you some links. And if I can help you in any way whatsoever, as far as growing this entire thing, scaling, if you're at 5+ or, we're scaling, if you're trying to get started, we have something for that too. If you're purchasing, like the whole thing, okay, everything, anything and everything, short-term rentals, I'm here for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. With that, I will leave you. This live will stay up forever. Well, I guess for like 9 months. I don't know. But again, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will talk to you guys soon. See ya.